All right, guys, I got a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of it is Christmas presents, and then a lot of it is just odds and ends that I'm trying to show. One of them is on my tree tent. I made some improvements. One of them is great, and I'm gonna keep it, and the other one, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. But as you can see, I got 2 shelters on my back. So one of the improvements is very extremely bulky, you know? So, but we're gonna start with the cooking first because the cooking's gonna take a while. Nick, go ahead and take your backpack off and hand it to me, okay? Let me take this off. All right. Like I say, I got 2 shelters right there. Let's show you what we got in here real quick. All right, now Nick, I'm carrying 2 sleep systems. This right over here, this is Nick's, and this top one is mine. I modified it, and it won't break down as much as it used to, and I don't think I'm gonna keep them modifications. All right, let's see what we got in here a minute. Let's go ahead and get it kicked off, the deal with the gifts. This backpack that you see right here. Oh, I may have to yell because the wind's blowing really bad. Anyway, this backpack you see was a gift from Oregon Mike. Okay, thank you, Mike. This is Nick's backpack. All right, now what we have here, this is another gift. Okay. Now I left it in the package it was shipped in just so that you could get the idea of how tore up it was when it came in the mail. But anyway, this is a grill sent to me by my friend Whittler Kev. Okay, he makes these grills. It's really cool. They're nice. They're heavy duty, but they're not too heavy. And when they fold out, they stop. So we're gonna be using that. Okay, that's one of the gifts. Thank you, Kev. Got a coffee pot. All right, now here's a pack. Let's see. Is it? Oh, that's yours. Okay. Oh, let me show you something real quick right here. Another thing. Well, let me get this out. All right, set that to the side. Now, this is a jungle primitive. Okay, this is what Nick's going to be carrying. Big knife, lightweight. A lot of you have seen it. Now, just real quick for comparison. This is the jungle canopy. Okay. Now a lot of you might have been wondering what the difference is, that they look similar, but as you can see, the jungle canopy, the jungle primitive is only 1/8 inch thick, and the jungle canopy is 3/16 thick. And if you'll notice too, the handle's a lot wider. Are you getting that pretty good? And when you look at it this way, they look the same. Okay, but anyway, that was one of my Christmas presents, is a jungle canopy, and I'll be using it. And if you're wondering, the pouch that it comes in, the little pouch on the side is so big that it'll actually fit the Survival Technologies fire starter. So that's a pretty big fire starter right there. But the pouch is that big if you're wondering about how big it is. So, all right, it's a good knife. I'll be cutting up kindling with that today. All right, now, I got my all aluminum cook set that I'll be showing you. This is kind of like a long-term cook set if you're gonna be somewhere for 2 or 3 days. I'm gonna do that one. I'm gonna put it over here on the Whittler Kev's grill. Okay, now this pack right here, it's a German belt pack, and it was sent to me by TJ. Okay, his channel is on YouTube is Corum Emmys or Emery's, I'm not real sure. Anyway, in this little pack right here, let's get a different camera angle. Pause that for just a second. Let me get you on down here so I can show you the stuff a little bit better. All right, now I got you on down here where you can see what's in this pack a little bit better. Okay, now what I got is this. I've been working on for a while. Okay, for this. Now what this is in this little pouch here, a lot of you have seen it. This is the Emberlit UL. It's a titanium stove, okay? I'm gonna assemble that. This was given to me by my friend Alan Bierhoff. His YouTube channel is AWC Camper, okay? Alan, I told you I was gonna make an oven for it, and I did. All right, now I'm gonna put this together real quick, and then I'm gonna show you the oven, and I'm gonna show you how to assemble it. This thing right here just goes together with these tabs. I'm gonna do that off camera.
And by the funny color of it, rainbow colors, you can tell it's been used in survival situations.
Yes, survival situations and a camping situation. All right, I'm gonna put this together and then I'm gonna show you the oven that I made. All right, go ahead and cut that off. All right, now, what I'm doing here, just kind of trimming this up a little bit, trying it out. See how it does right here. Yeah. I like it right there for a cheap knife. That's a good knife. All right, now let's try something here. I don't normally good chopper. I don't normally like batoning. That's about too rotten to baton. Everything here's kind of wet. It ain't that wet. All right, that's what I want to do right there. Okay. I hope you brought a shovel. Is there a shovel over here?
Should be one.
Hey, this is pretty cool. The Rothko shovel fits straight inside that pack. All right, let's see now. I love this shovel right here. I'm glad you remembered to bring it. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear out just a little bit of a spot right here. Get it down to where the wet leaves are.
For a fire?
Yeah, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set these two logs right here. Okay, I got the Emberlit put together. Okay, you feed the wood in through here. This thing's a very lightweight stove. All right, let's see. I'm gonna put that. I don't know if I like it. There it goes. Okay, now that's a good solid surface. Now, on to other things. What I have here. I got a piece of metal bent square, okay? I got another piece of metal, it's a flame deflector. I'll explain that in a minute. I got some pieces of metal here that have tabs on them, okay? And the way they assemble is they go in and down, okay? With a bunch of holes on the side, all right? Now, the other one goes here. This is all aluminum, okay? I think I pronounced that right. This goes in here. I know this is kind of awkward here, but I wanted to do it on camera so that you could see how this goes together out of a small folded pack. All right, and then this drops down. Okay, now as you can see what I've got so far, it's got a bunch of holes in it, and it came apart. Alright, making myself look bad. There you go. And once that's together, you set it inside here. Okay, just to kind of show you how it goes together. Now, this right here.
Hey, wait, is that some sort of a stove that protects the fire from the wind?
Not kinda. That's an actual oven. Okay, now here, scoot this forward just a little bit. Come forward just a little bit and aim right down in here so you can see. That sets right there on that. You see that pretty good? Okay. I got an opening for the flames to come up. Okay. Now, the way this does. Wait a minute, I put it on there wrong. I got the top and the bottom wrong. This goes like that. Alright. Alright, so that's better right there now. Okay, now what I do now is I got a bunch of little bent rods right here. Now let me move that camera so that you can move it over here for a minute so that you can look inside and see what I'm doing. All right, can you see inside it? Yeah, that's perfect. All right, now what I'm gonna do now is I got these stainless steel rods right here. Okay, what they do, I need 5 of them to start with. And what I do is I put 2 through here. Are you picking that up? I put 2 through there. Okay. Now, as the flames come up, you don't want the flames coming straight out hitting your stuff on the bottom. Okay. What you want is a flame deflector. What that is that thing right there makes it where the flames hit it and they'll spread out everywhere. Okay. Now this is going to get hot. Okay. So you don't want your bread pan sitting directly on it. Makes sense? All right. So what I'm going to do now, this is an oven. Okay, you can either bake cakes with it, you can make bread, you can make cornbread. The hardest thing to make is cornbread, so that's what we're going to try for today. Okay, now what I got is I got these 3 things right here. Okay, I got my flame deflector here. The pan's not going to be sitting on it because if you're cooking on the bottom, you're baking. This is going to be sitting up here. Okay, and then let me move some of this stuff. Here, shine it over here at this pack. This pack right here is pretty neat because I had like some stuff in the top right here. I got some oatmeal and some coffee, and I'll show you what's in here, and I'll show you what's in here. And then I got like some beans and some pre-measured water for a cornbread. Let me flip this around. And then I got the cornbread. Okay. Right now. And the lid. Okay, shine it back over here. And as you can see, the lid is on here. Okay. Alright. Cut that off and let's get some fire. Alright, now what I'm gonna do is you can see I got this thing stuffed full of grass and I got some wood down in the bottom. And I'm just going to try to light this thing off. Hopefully it'll light off. Whew. I don't want to knock it everywhere. There it goes. It don't help that the wind's blowing. Alright, and I'm just going to put some sticks in here. Slowly get this thing going before I put my oven on it. Alright. I say this is good on a windy day when it's a controlled environment. Alright, you want to put a few sticks in there and get that thing going. Once you get it going, then I got some bigger logs down in the bottom that's going to be going. It's going to be catching a hold. That's a nice fire starter right there.
I don't know if you can hear it or if it's catching on camera.
Yeah. But
the wind's blowing so hard sometimes that you can hear branches falling off of trees.
I know, that's pretty bad. I hope nothing falls on us. Probably needed my extreme weather shelter. All right, let's let that burn down right there just a little bit.
Pine branches do break off, I don't think. Maybe one of them might fall. I don't know.
There you go. That'll catch him on fire here in just a minute. Alright, now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the cornbread, okay? Alright, I've got a pan. And I love these old jars. And I got cornbread mix and I got some water. Okay, so what I'm going to do, alright, pour in the water. I pre-measured everything ahead of time. Shake it up real good. I don't even know if you're supposed to shake it or not. Alright, fire seems to be catching on pretty good. Now see, once I put this oven on it, we're going to have to continuously feed in through the side right here. That's how you feed this thing. Okay, whatever size pan this is, I don't even know the name. Let's see right in here a minute.
See that?
Yep, I saw it. Mini loaf pan, that's what it is. Alright, now this is what you do. Take the cornbread mix, we've shook it up good, pour it in. We're going to have us some nice cornbread in a little while. Now let me set this over here. Get some of this out of the way. Where'd my gloves go? There they are. Alright, got my old Nomex gloves on. That way I can avoid the fire. Now see how high these flames are right here?
The wind's doing that.
I know, that's the reason that you need this flame deflector. I see right in there.
Let me get a little closer.
See if you can aim it right down on top.
Get a good view of this.
Now see how that flame deflector's working? Now once that stuff right there, once them flames calm down a little bit, that's still too much flames for this. But you can see that aluminum plate is going to get hot. So if I was setting the cornbread straight on it, it'd burn the bottom. Oh, something else you can do too is on a windy day like this. I'll go ahead and show you real quick while we're waiting on them flames to die down. Another way is on a windy day, if you take your coffee pot and you put your coffee pot straight on that Emberlit, you're going to heat the bottom. But if you take it and set it like this, see, not only are you heating the bottom, but you're also heating the sides. Isn't that pretty cool? Alright, so that's another use for it right there.
It'd really be that side there because they're jumping up extra high.
I guess so, I don't know. Alright, we're going to let that die down for a minute. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the cornbread and I'm going to set the cornbread right in there and put the lid on. Alright, let's get the other one going. I'm going to show you how I use the other grill. That way all this stuff will be cooking and we'll set up our two shelters. Okay? This will die down in a minute. Alright. Alright, as you can see, it already looks like a bomb went off in our campsite, but that's just how me and Nick roll. Alright, now I'm going to move some of this stuff out of the way. Okay?
It's the wind again.
Yep, you hear that wind picking up? We need to hurry and get that shelter going. Alright. Now, I got me a nice muddy spot here. Now, here's Whittler Kev's grill. It's neat, folds up. I'm gonna set it right there. I'm gonna stab it in the ground. I got me some wood broken up right here. I'll put right here. Alright. A little bit of wood right there. I got some small wood right here. Got me a little tinder bundle. Put me a little bit right here. I'll put a little bit right there. Alright, now, what I'm going to do.
Really hear those trees banging around up there.
No. What I'm going to do with this right here, when I make my tinder bundle out of this, I'm just going to wrap it around. And then just sort of poke a hole in the middle. Make it look like a bird's nest. Okay. Now, what I'm going to try, I could use that, but I want to show you something. Let me come over there. He also sent some, he made this now. He sent a piece of flint, okay, in a neat little bag. Now this is a really nice, can you see that pretty good? That's a really nice striker that he made. Looks like he made it out of a file. And that thing fits my 3 fingers perfectly. Isn't that cool? Alright, now what I'm going to do, I am a ferro rod man. Okay, I'm either ferro rod or friction fire. I am not much on char cloth and flint and steel, but I have used it. Okay, now the way I carry my char cloth is I don't just throw it into a bag. I've also got it in a plastic bag because I don't want moisture to get on it on a day like today. Okay. Now let's see what we can do right here. If y'all laugh and make fun of me, I'm not perfect. Let's try this a little bit right here. There it goes, you see it? Now I'm just going to let that sit there for a minute. See how it's burning? There it goes.
Smells kind of good. Oh, but you can't really smell it.
Now remember
This.
see, this thing's pretty neat, ain't it? It fits perfectly. He did a good job. His name's Whittler Kev. Good job. All right, now let's put it inside this little junky thing right here. Doing kind of a sloppy job. Let's get it on down in there. Cover it up. Kind of pinch it up a little bit. It's in there. It'll burst into flames in a minute. I heard it popping and snapping, so I'm gonna go on over here. I'll probably go ahead and put it in here. There it goes. Woo! Oh, it's on me!
Holy crap.
Hey, when it goes, it goes. You gotta go for that. You gotta listen for that snapping sound. You know what?
Lose your hands if you're not careful.
I know you will. All right, we got that going. Let me add some small sticks and I'm gonna get this going, then I'm gonna show you how our cook system works, okay? So, all right, go ahead and cut that off and let's get this fire going. All right. Now, I gotta move this over a little bit. Didn't look like it was centered. All right, as you can see, the flames have died down on the inside. So, once the flames have died down, we're ready to put our cornbread on. Okay, now, it's not touching the bottom and there's gonna be nothing but hot air in here. Okay, so we shut the lid on it. And after about an hour, that'll be ready to eat. And we want to slowly feed in sticks in the other end. Now, come on over here and I'm gonna show you this cook system. This is kind of neat, okay, because you can continuously, like say if you get water out of the creek or the river, you can continuously have hot water in here keeping everything hot. And as you have warmed up your water and kept it purified and cold, then you can just pull this out and set it to the side and you can let it cool and put a lid on it, okay? And you can just continuously, these are all aluminum containers, they don't weigh nothing. Now another thing that I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cook beans in here while I'm purifying my water. And we got some noodles later on. Now what I'm gonna do right here, I'm gonna show you something neat right here. Pour some of the water in here. A little bit in here. Okay, now, I'm gonna put these in. Okay. Come on.
Stuck. I think it's from the cold.
Okay, now, as you can see, I got beans in there. Are they showing up? Now, another thing.
Water looks a little red.
Does it? Yeah, they got some red beans in there. Okay, now, when you put it in here, the beauty of it is that when you're cooking beans over an open flame, if you run out of water, you're going to burn your beans. Same thing with rice and noodles. But with this, if it runs out of water, you're surrounded by hot water, so you're not going to burn your beans. And another thing, if it does get low on water, here's the beauty of it. You've got hot water right here beside it. And you just add more. So isn't that neat? And you can just continuously pull these containers out and put new ones in, and just, you can have, and this pot doesn't weigh nothing. It's a little big, little bulky, but it fits in a large Alice pack, no problem. So, and I have cooked beans, rice, and noodles in this thing before. And you don't burn anything. And then you just cap off, you know, the ones over here as they cool. So, alright, that's taken care of Alan's Emberlit stove he sent me. Thank you, Alan. And I got my oven on top of it that I made. and I've showed my cook set here on top of Whittler Kev's grill. So now let's move on to our 2 sleep systems. Okay, I'm fixing to show you the improvements on the tree tent that I made. Hey, you can see I got that Emberlit going right there. I got the flames coming up. I don't know what the inside of Cornbread looks like. It's starting to heat up a little bit. Maybe it'll solidify. Got that thing right there going. I got my lid for the beans. Alright, let's move on to, if I can get it back in there. That's my El Cheapo lid. Alright, let's move on to the shelter. Alright, now it's shelter time. I got this thing right here unhooked from the backpack, okay? And I'm going to show you the improvements that I made. One of them I'm going to keep. I don't know about the other one. Alright, now what I did is I made a cover, okay? I made a cover. Let me go ahead and take this off. Now, as I wanted to make a cover for it, and there was some suggestions when I did the tree tent video. I wanted to make a cover, but while I was at it, this stuff is so expensive and I went to so much trouble for it that I went ahead and lined the inside of it with a waterproof, windproof, breathable fabric. It's kind of like Gore-Tex, okay? I did a pretty decent job. It's the first time I've ever sewn this stuff before. And I put grommets at each corner. But it's like a ripstop nylon with a breathable inside. And I did that because I can also use this as a cover for my hammock, okay? Now another thing I did, I tied this up in the last video, so I'm gonna tie it up, and I'm gonna tie it up off camera because we're already dangerously low on camera. But as you can see, last time I had the aluminum spreader bars that just went from one end to the other. Well, what I've done now is I've actually got a triangular bar, okay? And I've noticed something from setting this up. If you use 2 big trees, the single bars work better, but if you use 6 trees, this bar works better. But this ain't pack friendly. I mean, it don't weigh a whole lot, but it's bulky, it takes up a lot of room. So, and another thing I do is I've discovered that when I tie it up to one tree, instead of having the rope being a mess, I tie up the ridge line first, and then these I wind up having on a carabiner. That's kind of messy. I'm probably gonna wind up having to have a bag to put it on. But I'm gonna tie this up and then I'm gonna show you how that cover goes on there, okay? Alright, here, cut that thing off and let me get this tied up. Alright, as you can see, I got the rope tied off to all these different trees everywhere. And aim on down this way. Go ahead and move the camera on down this way a little bit. Now go ahead and carry it over here. Now, as you can see, what I've done right here is I got a full A-frame on it, okay? Full A-frame. And this thing right here, I'm telling you, you guys that are interested in welding, if you ever wonder what the hardest thing is I ever made, you're looking at it. Because this thing right here, not only is it leaned back this way 30 degrees, but it's leaned this way 30 degrees, and then it's leaned that way 25 degrees. And then it's got these little fish mouths on it. But they're leaned in and over. And that was kind of complicated figuring all that out, but like I say, this works good if you're pulling in all different directions.
The hardest thing, he says.
It was the hardest thing to figure out. You can see how all these
welding.
Yeah, the welding and the figure, and you can see up here too how it's got all these joints that I had to make on it. But I mean, it keeps everything nice and solid like it should be. You know it. All right, cut that off and let's move to the other end. Alright, you can see how I got these ropes all spread out. I got one way back here, one way over there, one way up there. You can see I did the same thing over here on this end.
Here.
I don't know if the sun's going to be hitting you or not.
Here. Here.
What are you looking at, Nick?
Ropes.
Oh, okay. See right here, I got the same thing done on this end right here. So, And I think it should hold it up a little bit better. Got a place where I can flop that over even. Alright, same thing on this end. Alright, now I'm going to show you about the cover that I made for it. Let me dig it out, okay? Now I got my cover, which is also going to double up as a tarp, a lightweight tarp one day. Got the breathable fabric on the inside. But pretty much you just throw it over top of it. Oh, and another thing I've learned, you got to get in it and let it sag down and then tighten the ropes again after you've been in it. It's pretty simple to put on. You can see where I screwed up one of the eyelets. All you do, let me find one. I made this to where you take a carabiner, okay, and you just clip it on. And clip it on the rope. Simple as that, okay? Let's go around and do the other side.
That dirty old wind won't remove that tarp.
No. Well, hey, come back here in a second. Let me see the camera. Come on over here a minute. Now this is something else right here. Let's see. Do the same thing right here. You just clip it on the rope. That way, if these are all spread out, it ain't gonna hurt anything, okay? Isn't that neat? Let me put this other one on. And something else that I did. Let's see. Alright, here. Let me see this a minute. Come under the rope here. Oh, didn't mean to make y'all sick. Alright, aim it right there. Alright, now something else. Alright, now something else that I did is I made it to where it's a little bit longer. That way it's going to be on the other end. And on this end, I got a little roof up under here so that I can, I got a place where I can hang my gear. Isn't that neat? Whatever I need to, I can hang under here. It's bungee cords. So I can hang my pack under here and it'll stay dry. Okay? Let's go hook up the other
Wind's
end.
blowing again.
I know it is. It's blowing
Tarp's
terrible.
holding up.
It's blowing terrible. Alright, cut that off and let's move to the other end. Alright, now as you can see, this thing, it just works out just perfect, okay? I got it made perfect here. Once again, nothing to it. Just put that on there, clip it on. See? Isn't that great? Got a nice cover. It's going to be a good wind stopper too. Alright, let's check on our beans. Take off my little lid here. They're not burnt yet and they're still stirring up. We'll let them simmer for a little while. Now, I bet our cornbread's done. Come over here and look. You aimed over here? Ooh, doggy.
A little burnt, but
A little burnt on the edges,
still
but
good.
I don't care. There you go. Cornbread. Alright.
It's like a pasta.
Now what we'll do is we'll just keep it warm. I'll show you another little trick. Okay? Where's that other tube? Alright, here's the other trick on the Emberlit that I did on my oven. Now, something else you can do is I put a bunch of extra holes in the top. Isn't that neat? So what we'll do now is I'll show you how it can be used as a grill. Alright. Here, go ahead and cut that off while I put all these in, these extra rods. Alright, now I showed you earlier how this thing right here, how I used this flame deflector, okay? And I showed you how I could use it as an oven with the lid on it. And then I showed you how you can take and you can put a coffee pot down in it. And not only does it heat the bottom, but it kind of heats the sides too. But all these holes across the top, you can completely remove the lid and you got you a nice grill. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our cornbread right there and I'm going to just leave it there. And I'm going to leave it there and let it stay warm while I'm doing our final shelter. Another thing I thought about doing is I thought about you could clean this and you could lay this on the top and you could cook eggs on it. But that was the original idea, but since it's so dirty, we'll just use a pan to do our cooking. Okay, so alright, we're going to keep this warm. By the time we get this final shelter done, the beans will probably be done. Okay, alright, Now, this shelter here, it's all right here in this one pack. Okay? Now, somebody had asked me one time why I never sleep on the ground. Well, I'll tell you this, if I do, this will be the way I'll sleep. And we'll move the fire in a little bit closer tonight, okay? So, let me get a different camera angle. I'm gonna move some of this stuff out of the way. We'll get another camera angle on this. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unroll this right here. I'll show you what I got in here. Got tied up. Oh, this Bivvy sack is it was a present from Oregon Mike. Okay. Now what this is, it's a Bivvy sack with a wool blanket, and right here I got a foam pad that's going to be laying under it. I got a fleece for wrapping around my head, and then I got this blanket here. This is it's like a permanent emergency blanket with a reflective surface. That was a present from Ian Barr, my friend from Canada. His YouTube channel's IB516. Thank you, Ian. And that comes with something neat too. And I got a little bit of rope that I'm gonna tie the tarp up with. I'll stretch it from tree to tree, and then I'll show you how it's done. Something else I'll show you right here too while I'm here talking about all these gifts. Right here, I made, okay, for one thing, I'm gonna show you something that's pretty cool. Well, this was my first time sewing ripstop, so I went ahead and made a bag for all my carabiners and clips and things. So I got a bunch of stuff in here. Now this is pretty cool. I'll show you this in a minute. This comes with the emergency blanket. But these are reusable zip ties. Because you can put them together and then you mash a button and they come apart. They come with it. That's pretty cool. Now I don't know where Ian got this, but I think you can buy this exact blanket at Ranger Joe's. And I love it. Very lightweight. It's cool. Now, this was a gift, another gift from TJ. He's the one that sent me the German pouch and the one that sent me the black rope for the tree tent. But this is a Tree Brand Arbolito by Boker. That is a beautiful knife. Thank you, TJ. I love it. And I'm probably just going to put that in a collection, probably not even going to use it. Okay, but there's another gift. I wanted to show that. That was really nice of him. I love this knife. And then Nick got from my friend, as you can see, you remember I used to carry all these carabiners and all these little clips in a plastic bag? Well, now I got a nice lined pouch for it, and paracord. I'll probably put some Velcro on it. Now my friend Reapers Outdoors, he sent Nick a knife, okay? It's a Timberwolf skinning knife. Very nice knife. Nick, say thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, that's Nick's knife right there. Okay, all right, now I'm gonna stretch a rope and then I'm gonna unroll this the rest of the way, then I'm gonna show you how it's set up. The one and only time, well, there's 2 or 3 other times I sleep on the ground, but this is one of the few. All right, well, let me get this all stretched out and we'll get back with you. All right, now this is about that twist tie. It's kind of a tight fit in there. It's a small grommet. If you use carabiners with these, you need some small ones. Okay, but basically what you do is, I want to show you this. It's kind of neat. You tie it off, okay, and then you got a button that you can mash. That way you can reuse these. Now that is pretty neat, okay? All right, I'm gonna stretch this tarp out and then I'll show you how the rest of it's set up, okay? All right, now, I showed all the gifts and everything. I'm really, really thankful for everything that everybody sent me. It's really cool. And I got my shelter set up here. What I'm gonna do is later on, I'm gonna move the fire a little bit closer to the front here. That way the heat will be reflected off the back of me. And what I got here is I got my foam pad underneath me right here. Can you see that? And then I got the Bivvy sack, and I got it lined with a wool blanket, okay? Now, what I'm gonna do, oh me, this is how I'm gonna sleep tonight. 'Cause like I say, I don't film at night because it just doesn't show up when it gets dark. But what I'm gonna do, of course, I got my boots under there, and I'm gonna have my knife next to me, right here. All the rest of that stuff doesn't matter. But what I'm gonna do is, oh, see, this feels good already. I'm gonna get in here. Oh me! I got this tied up, and I got a roof over my head, and I left a little gap in here for when that smoke comes in. What I'm gonna do right here with this fleece.
Yeah, I think right now I'm getting attacked by the smoke.
Are you? All right, we'll be ready to eat in a minute. But I'm gonna wrap this around my head. We'll come inside here. Oh. And that right there, I'm gonna try to sleep just like this right here. Now, if I ever sleep on the ground, this is how I sleep on the ground. For those of you that wanted to know, because Nick's already said that he's gonna take over the tree tent. Alright, let me get out of here and we'll wrap things up. Okay, go ahead and cut that off. Oh. Alright guys, now Nick said that for once he would actually be on camera, so this is his big scene. Hey, he went in head first, y'all. Alright Nick, did you have fun?
Yep.
Alright dude.
Cozy in here.
It is? Alright. Nick took over the tree tent. He's stretching it out, then we're going to tighten the ropes up real good. And then I'm going to drag that fire over. Alright Nick. You gonna tell him till next time?
Yeah. Till next time, David and Nick Pearson.
That's right. All right, let me see if I can zip this thing up. When it goes up here, let's see right here. Come on, come on. Don't. There you go. All right. You gonna stay in there for a little while and see how warm it is?
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right, guys. Till next time. See ya.